Well, the confusion continues with DOA and his court enemies, where apparently he's actually succeeding, but according to Dodge, he's not succeeding at all. So Dodge is telling me that no charges, none of the charges were dropped. But Mexican Longhair, who really hates DOA, I mean, passionately hates DOA, I mean, repeatedly affirms hatred of DOA, says, okay, a charge was dropped. DOA did succeed in having one charge dropped. Well, I'd like some clarity there. Was the charge dropped or not dropped? But hey, this is the day of hating DOA and lying about it, so whatever. Court case, not court case, truth, not truth. Facts? Who cares? We're doing the new Scientology now, guys. The courts and the facts are going to be redefined to be whatever we want them to be. All right, there we go. And apparently the real problem here is they just don't hate DOA enough. This court needs to hate DOA more. That's the real problem.
We're aware of the background. So I don't know if there's any survivors listening, but I really wish someone would write an affidavit for court explaining that this guy continually gets off of charges. He's never punished, and every time it happens, it empowers him to do even more terrible things to people.
Yes.
I mean, I really think that the judge needs to understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Danny's live, apparently. Good for Danny.
Court decision on Friday. I'm not sure what kind of decision.
I don't know what that is. Really hard to revoke bail based on what someone else did unless they have proof that he told Jay to do that. Yeah, but there's other violations, Dana. They had him dead to rights on stickies himself, saying it. I understand what Flea is saying, but I think it's also calculated too, Flea. I think there's reasons why they don't bring up certain things.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting sick and tired of the propaganda, and maybe some factual content here would be nice. I guarantee you, I promise you, I will become the greatest Mexican Sith Lord. I promise you, I'm Anakin. That's nice. You're not a legal expert. You're not a lawyer. Why are you saying these things? Also, I just love that they're literally outing themselves, saying the problem here, the judge, is just not ruling him guilty. It's all quite clear to me, Anakin. He's guilty. Put him away. Exile him. Yeah, just put him in Guantanamo Bay. Let's just deny him any and all civil rights because, reasons. Also, specify for your audience what you mean. It's it just keeps getting off. I guess you mean the restraining orders. Well, again, if the restraining order had no validity, maybe the restraining order had no validity. Listen, I do think there are genuine victims of DOA. There's no doubt about that. But there's also a lot of fake victims of DOA, and this is just becoming the Aaron, Louis Repetto, Tommy Scoville act all over again. Do these men create real victims? Absolutely. I have no issue with the real victims wanting justice. What I do find troublesome is fake victims creating fake news and fake incidents and just saying, oh no, the DOA, oh no, my lord, my god, put him in jail now. Okay, what are we going to put him in jail for? Oh, Rib Guy's name got mentioned. Okay. Well, call me crazy. I don't think people should be going to jail for mentioning names. I don't see that works with the First Amendment at all. At all. Also, there is no evidence, as far as I know, that Rib Guy is some kind of, what's the word? Assault victim of DOA. Right? Now, does DOA have a tendency to create an echo chamber and go after people? Absolutely. That is wrong. But what Mexican Longhair is doing is also just as wrong. You're doing the same thing. You're trying to whip up this hate campaign, this McCarthyism, and destroy the guy based on Josiah's being rude to Beckus. Okay? And Beckus is a friend of Mexican Longhair. And what's their friendship based on? Hatred of DOA. So it's just like we're going around in a big circle. People who have no real information, just wanting things to be true. Well, can we just get to the truth first, and then you can get to your wishes, and I don't know, DOA is the next Godzilla vampire monster of the week. Because again, I'm still very confused. So initially I thought DOA was forbidden to say these names because that is what the court ordered. But it appears now, no, what he can't say is their real names. He's not supposed to say their real names, which as far as I know, he did not say their real names, so there's nothing legally wrong with what he did. But Mexican Longhair got everyone into a tizzy and saying, yes, he's going to jail. He said Rib Guy. Okay. All right. And are we going to make this universal that we should just forbid names? Period? Who's going to decide? Mexican Longhair? Aaron? the courts of California, I don't think this should be a right extended to anyone, frankly. I mean, this should be some really rare circumstance like P. Diddy. Like, if you're a P. Diddy victim saying, okay, well, if P. Diddy is trying to say or mention a name to intimidate them, okay, that makes sense. But DOA has done many things, but he doesn't have like a PD mafia operation. Okay, like let's calm down. The guy is a very troublesome, questionable activist, but he's not running a Diddy style massive bad boy operation. That is simply not true. That's not working with reality. If they have issues with DOA and his ideological allies, well, just say what the problem is, right? But so far, we're just getting innuendo. The court needs to do this, the court needs to do that. Based on what? Based on what legal doctrine? The legal doctrine that Aaron is my God? Me gusta the Church of Aranas. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. But they still allegedly oppose Scientology, right? In fact, and I'm going to call out Ellie in particular, getting into these spasms like, oh, the victims! Oh, the second generation! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, well, if you think censorship and breaking the law is fine, and that's what you're authorizing, that's what you want the court to do. You want them to break the law, saying, well, did he get off the charge or not? I don't care. Put him away in jail. Even if the charge is invalid, I don't care. Get rid of him. Put him in jail. Okay, well, if we can put people in jail for flimsy to non-existent charges, then a lot of these second gens didn't suffer anything, right? When Scientology put them in their administrative prisons, it's like, who cares? Well, were they guilty? Did they even do anything wrong? Who cares? They're being put away in jail. They're suffering. I hate them. That's the only good thing. Okay, so that's the new formula. I hate this person. Make them suffer. I want them to feel a lot of pain. Well, are they actually guilty? Are they technically guilty? No, we don't care. I mean, listen, there's a charge, there's a judge, and that's enough for me. Yeah, but it's a Scientology judge. Oh, no, that's bad. No, no, no. That's not the way logic works. If you think a legal system is good, despite putting people away for no reason, that's good for any legal system, even the Scientology legal system. So why is Ellie crying about the second generations? What are they crying about? They were judged guilty by the Scientology legal system. Oh, but you see, the problem here is the Scientology legal system is a joke. It doesn't really mean anything. Right. That's why I don't take it seriously. But now we do take it seriously because, hey, what matters is get the guy in jail. I hate them. I love my Beckus, and I love my Nora, and I love my second gens. Well, if that's all we have, we just have a dictatorship. So if you want to make the argument for dictatorship, do so. Do so openly. Stop with all this like, and the courts and the judges and the legals. You guys don't care anything about legalities or legal rules. You just want DOA to suffer. Okay, well, make the case for that. But stop invoking court cases. You don't care about the law. You don't care about the law being broken. Aaron apparently can break all the laws he pleases. Mexican long hair would be like, breaking law? I see no law being broken. I see Iranus in the Church of Iranus being very Iranus. Me gusta. Okay, well, what about the victims of Aaron? The Aaron's victim no me gusta, they no existe. Vámonos, muchachos. On to the next hate campaign. Okay, I mean, all right, fine, great. So be it. Let's just make the money and put away our enemies in jail. Act like a complete mafia system. All right, fine, but stop pretending like we care so much about victims here. No, you only care about certain victims. The other victims, they don't exist. Apparently, they don't exist in the land of Mexican long hair. Apparently.